Well, we're going live, so thought we'd give it a go. How we doing, everybody? So I just thought we'd give that a go. Now, if I can, let's just crank that up. If we go. Yeah, I think that's all right for background music. So yeah, I thought we'd do a little bit of a live stream. Haven't been on for a while. Hope everyone's doing well. So I always say that, don't I? Let's just give it some of that. And give it some of that. I'm just resizing my window. Actually, I can my transmission app. I can download that. I can get rid of that at the moment. Don't want to use any more bandwidth from that. So apparently we're doing about 4K upload, 1080p. So we seem to be nice and dubris. So who have we got online at the moment? Drop us a line in the chat. I'm trying to get the chat window up. I'm trying to resize the window so I can see the chat, but don't know why that's not working. Does it do like that? So that's really annoying. I can't resize that. Sometimes YouTube goes a bit funny, you know. Anyway, whatever. Okay. Okay, whatever. Okay. I guess I can do it like that. Now, why? That is bizarre. Okay. So let's just give it some of that. Then I can. Yeah. All right. Well. All right. That's that. Whiz live. So how's lockdown treating everybody? So, yeah, I was actually figuring out the other day what what I could use for the programs. It seems like I've got the audio fixed. Don't know what I did. I restarted something somewhere, but it would seem that the audio works going towards you, as I can see on the screen, so you can hear the audio. But the biggest problem is I can't hear it. So I need to work out how I can add another device on the aggregate to make an output going to the speakers. I mean, for now it's okay. You've got audio playing. It's just that if I was to receive a Skype call at the moment, I wouldn't be able to hear the other person, whereas the stream would be able to hear them, but I wouldn't be able to hear them. So that's kind of pointless since I'm the one having the conversation with them. So anyway, cheers. Dodgy cup of tea. Look at the state of that mug. Oh, that's a lovely shade of Tuscan sunset. Pub ceiling. Well, so how's everyone been? Bit of a promptu live stream. Not really sure what I'm going to talk about today. I've got to go to the Apple store on Monday to get my Mrs. laptop fixed. Seems like there's a problem with the power situation. the power will not charge, the laptop will not turn on. It looks like the motherboard will need to be replaced. We don't know. We'll see on Monday. We've got an appointment from the Genius Bar, so that's quite painless. If you download the Apple Support app on your iPhone, it's quite automated, the process with booking an appointment. So yeah, it's quite good. And luckily there's plenty of service whatsits, doodahs, oojamaflips where I live. So pretty painless. Pretty painless, one thinks. Look at that light. Beautiful light. Got lots of light today. Glaring in the old boat race. The old boat race. So yeah. So that's been doing it. Elon Musk bought a load of Bitcoin the other day, so he's pushed the price up, which is annoying because I was on a slow trickle. In. Obviously, well, it might not be obvious to some people, but if you have an account on a trading site or an exchange, that's the word I'm looking for. They usually have a cap on buy-ins. I think it's about 1,000 a month. It's all right. Well, you can do it. You can do a call, and then you can join as and when you're free. My timing is always atrocious. I know, because I was watching somebody else's live stream today, and I thought, hang on a minute, I haven't done a live stream for a while, so I just decided to hit the streamy button and see how we were. So yeah, I've got all the things set up to basically go through some stuff that I was looking at. I was actually looking at it's Biden. Look, I was looking at some stuff. Oh, this guy's always going on about video cameras. Actually, he's got he's into cinema, but he uses video cameras and not SLRs. So he was the one that was showing you the best video camera to buy with interchangeable lenses. They're still quite expensive though. I might make one of these boxes for my sim doodah thing. They're quite easy to make with basic soldering skills. They look complicated, but the switches are easy to get here, and basically it's an Arduino. OBS is quite cool. I was thinking of streaming on the PC side today because I was getting a bit annoyed about the audio situation on the Mac side. You can hear the background music coming through. Hopefully should be under my voice quite well. Unfortunately, I can't hear the background music coming out of the sound card. So that basically means that any YouTube video or anything that I play will go out directly to the stream, but fails to come out through my headphones. So that kind of defeats the object if you're trying to make a Skype call. On the PC side, not a problem. PC handles audio differently. Easy peasy. The Mac, however, and this only happened recently since OBS update came out, it broke the plugin that I used to use. So, yeah, annoying. So anyway, I was thinking of making one of these little button boxes for one of my racing sims. Like I say, it runs on that Arduino. Where are we? Let's get a decent picture. There we are. Where are we? Yeah. So it runs on a little Arduino USB processor thing, and they're quite plug and play these days. And you can basically download the code and just upload it straight in. But obviously, it gives you a lot more control on your joystick. I think you have up to 32 buttons. You're allowed 32 buttons on the USB bus, and some joysticks actually come with 32 buttons. But if, for example, you want to use a driving simulator, then obviously you're not going to have that many buttons on your steering wheel. So they're good to, things like swapping through menus and stuff. But they're quite good. And again, basic soldering skills. Buy a project box, and I think there's like the joystick controller board that plugs directly into the USB, and you can go a bit nuts with your setup. I mean, this video is from 2013, so they've been around a bit. But yeah. So yeah, I was thinking of making one of those, bit of a project for the when it gets raining. I've just taken my dishwasher out of the box today, put it in its position. I'll try and get some footage up of that and show you guys what it is. It's quite a good machine, actually. I haven't turned it on because it needs to be plumbed in. The waste, probably, because it's a countertop one, I'm not putting it inside the cupboard, I'm just putting it on the counter. I'll probably use the pipe going directly into the sink. And then I need to get a T-junction valve, a couple of T-junction valves on the water supply for the cold side, to give it cold water to the tap, and then obviously cold water to the dishwasher. Blimey, had a brain fart then. What I'd like to get, I have actually found it on I'll do a little. I'll show you what I bought. Similar to this, actually. Let me show you. I think that's the one. Yeah, this is the one. So I'm going to do a quick airdrop to my Mac, see if it comes up. Will it come up? It's good content, this, isn't it? Eh? Jesus, it's good to have something planned. Oh, here we go. So yeah, so this is what I bought. One of them. Basically, I wanted one with a stopcock. The fittings basically are plastic pipes. They're actually bolted onto the outside of the wall. They're not running through the wall. The plumbing was done after the house was built, so all the pipes run outside. Well, I have got a pair of rubber gloves and a brush, but the problem is I've been doing that for the past 20 years, and it doesn't gel to my lazy DNA. I've got plenty of rubber gloves, and I've even got a brush. The problem is our countertops are super low, so I get backache, and that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. So I bought one of these. Actually, the pipe that comes with the machine is only, I think it's 1.5 meters long, so it's not quite long enough, because I can't drill through the countertop. I've got to come through the side and then across the back. So I'm going to need about 3 meters of pipe. So I've got, you can buy ready-made pipes, like so. I shall show you, give you another. This is like drawing by numbers, isn't it? It's brilliant. So I'll just show you what I'm talking about, because it's for those that don't know. So there we go. So I bought one of these pipes, and again, this is a quick release doodah, which then goes onto this, which will go onto this doodah, and that basically means that I can if we move out, basically we can just take the dishwasher out and close this stopcock without having to do any plumbing cock, and be without any cocks involved at all, really, which is always a good thing. The less cocking about, the better. So obviously that goes into the back of the dishwasher, standard fitting. Washing machines are the same, which is kind of cool, and then that just flicks a quick release onto the tap. These pipes, obviously, you can get them in 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter. You can get them up to 10 meters long. So I'll measure how long I need, and I will order it. And once it arrives, it will be a pleasant experience. I've got a couple of step drills. Actually, what I've got up here in the toy shop, I've just seen this. So what I'll probably do is use that to drill a hole in the side of the counter to put all my pipes through. Actually, this is designed for a drain hole, but it'll work through wood. I mean, it's actually a bigger hole than I need. It's a bigger hole than I need, but it'll do the job. Or I can use a step drill, but I don't think the step drill goes up big enough for the thing. Timony in the house. How's everyone going on? How's that wood burner going? I bet you've got it stoked to the max in this on these winter evenings or afternoons. Yeah, I do have a step drill, but I don't think I've got my step drills up here. I don't think the aperturage. So it's good when you actually live in your own garage, isn't it? But yeah, I don't think this aperture is big enough to take the pipe. So if we go back to where I was doing the get him out of the way. The actual pipe that needs to go through the hole is this one here, and I don't think this step drill is big enough. So I'll just use that hole drill thing. Actually, this step drill, I bought this one to make that button box that I was just showing you with all the buttons for the things like if you want to do auxiliary buttons in your dashboard, like heated seats or auxiliary lights and things, step drills are good for the switches for those because they're the right size. So I shall just use, it's not show and tell, isn't it, today? I'll just use that and drill a nice hole in the side of my cabinet, and then that'll be good for putting the pipes in. And I should have more options then. -2 in the Pennines. Oh, I had a friend who went to the doctors with that ailment. He had -2 in the Pennines. Blimey. Yeah, get that wood burner stoked to the max, and yeah. Have you got a diesel heater as well? Have you got one of them diesel heaters? Apparently, people have mixed reviews about them. It's a very dry heat. Apparently, it's a very dry heat. Step drill, is that the music genre step drill? So yeah. Oh, we had myself and Darkened Room. We had a very long conversation this afternoon, my time, early morning your time, regarding various subjects with various degrees of rantage and other things going on. Oh well, yeah. The road trip is early stages at the moment. It's very COVID dependent at the moment. Our road trip, so because the whole of the UK seems to be locked down, it's kind of going to be quite a short road trip, probably from the drive to the front door and then back to the drive again. So, not much. Oh yeah, well, I mean, again, some people get on with the diesel heaters, some people don't. Darkened room, he's got one in his car to do his preheat start up for the old Land Rover, the old Webasto. But yeah, yeah, out of time, out of town with Jack Hargreaves. Anyway, look. Oh God, I've got to show you guys this. Look at that. Look at that shade of Tuscan sunset. Woo-hoo! Lovely. Yeah. Well, we decided to call it Rum Rants. So I've got Grind My Gears and he's got Rum Rants because it was half a bottle of rum and 10 minutes of ranting about what were we complaining about? Oh right, the fact that stuff doesn't get reused and doesn't last for longer than 6 months before it's either broken, out of fashion, or not used or not working. Whereas in the olden days, we used to have stuff that lasted forever. It used to. Talking about that, I was watching a kid from Thailand. I think it was Thailand, or it could have been southern China. He was making a steering wheel simulator for his game, all out of wood and elastic bands. It was fantastic. It took him about 15 days to make a whole sim racing, whatever it was. Oh Christ, yeah, mechanically minded. Yeah, sort of. So, basically, we're something minded, I tell you that. We're more pig-headed than mechanically minded, if I'm honest. But yeah, so this road trip, we're trying to plan it for this coming summer, spring, summer. But I mean, what is it now? It's coming into February, like on Monday. They've already said that nothing's going to happen during February. So March, they reckon that the kids are going to go back to school, but then they reckon they're not going to go back to school. So at the middle of March, they're going to say schools are going to be closed until April. Oh, my mum's had her vaccine, by the way. So she's had her first jab. Doctor said, you'll just feel a little prick. First time in ages, she says. Anyway. So apparently she's got... I'm not from Bangkok, but it's always hot and steamy down there because it never goes under about 25 degrees. It goes from 25 to 35, I think. I think the coldest it gets is about 25. It's like Bali, isn't it? It never gets cold down there. But yeah, she's got a little heart murmur, and the doctors told her that she can't go out now, and she has to stop all her visits because the doctor's trying to make an appointment for her for something. She's had her ECG, but she's got a heart murmur and she's on blood thinners. So anyway, the doctor wants her in, and basically the doctor said to her that you can't go out and you can't have your clean around, and because he needs to make sure that she stays COVID free until at least she has the second jab, because they need the second jab. Now, apparently, the time between the first jab and the second jab is now 3 months, because I'm guessing they wanted more people to have the first jab. So instead of giving half of the people 2 jabs, they've now given a double amount of people a single jab, and they're just waiting to produce more vaccines so they can give them the rest of the jab. I would imagine. So I've told her she has to stay indoors, and she has to stay away from the Tesco's delivery man, Mrs., because she's got a delivery next week. And he never wears a mask, apparently, the Tesco's delivery driver, so he could be doing all sorts of spreading. But anyway, whatever. So I just told her to, keep your distance and whatever, because at the end of the day, if she gets the treatment in the hospital, then it's all good. The doctor just wants her to stay safe so she can not get infected. Otherwise, if she does happen to get infected, she won't get that sick because she's had her vaccine, but the doctors won't be able to do anything because she's positive, right? So, yeah, 3 million Hong Kongers coming to Britain. Hopefully that will bring down the crispy duck price. Well, crispy duck is Beijing. It's Beijing duck, but yeah, I know what you mean. Well, they've got their, don't get me started on that political. It's going to be a political free post today, because that will be, usually that's in the grind my gears section about political asylums in England. But anyway, whatever. You can always pop around and give her a poke with a stick. Is it going to be a skip stick or just a normal one? Carol Vorderman, I'll have 1 from the top and 2 from the bottom, please. Anyway, that's funny. So hopefully the doctor, when she sees the doctor next week, she's going to get an appointment next week, I think, for some treatment in a day. She's going to do a day care, so it'll be morning in, evening out kind of thing. And hopefully the doctor will be able to arrange her second vaccine, because that would be good if she doesn't need to wait 3 months for it. But we'll see. We'll see if see if he's got any clout in that respect, or she's quite happy. She's quite happy to wait in the queue like everyone else. But we'll see what happens. But like I said, we're trying to plan this getaway UK tour thing this coming year. But exactly when it will be, I've got no idea. Rachel Riley's seeing that Russian bloke, Vladimir. Is it Vladimir? Can't remember. Has she had her baby yet? Yeah. I watched Countdown the other week. I thought it was quite funny. I do like Joe Wilkinson, actually. I found him very funny. So basically that's the plan for this summer. I'm still deciding on what car to get. I'm still deciding what car to get. I'm waffling on about cars and road trips, and you're going on about Carol Vorderman and Rachel Riley. Oh dear, that's funny. So no one's mentioned the other one, the dictionary corner. So anyway, she's quite funny as well. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, so we were thinking about at the end of the day, if you've got no money coming in, you got to make some cutbacks, haven't you? So, I mean, I think my mum's cleaner stopped coming round because obviously of the lockdown, and then once they realised it was safe, she came over, and then my mum would stay in one room and she'd do another room, and they'd sort of hopscotch around the rooms and do that. And of course, the cleaner needs the money, obviously. But now the doctor's told her, no, you need to isolate. So either that doctor's basically saying that now COVID is really hard, it's really easy to catch now. That, you can kind of read between the lines, because the doctor was basically said, don't go out of the house and don't have anybody around. And because he's hilarious, because the doctor asked her, he said, do you live on your own? And she said, yes. She said, well, how do you do your shopping? She said, oh, well, actually, my son lives in China and he does it for me. And he was like, what? He couldn't understand. He just couldn't understand that I do her shopping for her. He just like, how does that work then? And he said to her, he said, do you know what? I've never heard anything like it in my life, he said. Oh, God. Bless him. Anyway, technology. Well, yeah, you just carry on, mate. You just hijack my chat and just do your business. Do your things in the chat, mate. I'm just waffling on. I'll just become background music for you. In actual fact, you can just turn the volume down and just chat amongst yourselves. I'll go and put a movie on. So, anyway, whatever. It's all fun and games until someone loses an eye. So we are actually streaming at over 5,000 kilobits a second. How about that? We're almost in hyperspace. That's amazing. So yeah, I'm just reading through some of these comments. I'm trying to figure out what the hell you guys are on about. In fact, Tim Timoney's almost on the case with the subjects I'm spouting out. He's kind of following along. Dark and Room has just completely gone on another tangent. No change there. So he did make a cracking. Actually, I'll show you. I'll do you a solid, and I'll show you a cracking all-day breakfast. If I can get this to there, and do that there, and then do this here. Talk amongst yourselves. Right. So let me just do that. I might have to put that on pause just for a second while I do a little bit of that and a little bit of that, and enjoy. Doesn't that look nice? That, my friends, is a classic little cook-up in 4K. That got your attention, didn't it, eh? Anyway. So that was the I don't know who Tim B is. I don't think Tim B's ever joined the stream. There's so many Tims. It's catching. I think if I'm right, Tim came over through the Socks with Sandals, one of his videos, because I think we both follow him. So it could have been somewhere along them lines. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's not where you start, it's where you finish, isn't it? But that's yeah, I'll have to check that. I haven't checked Tim B's live stream. So, oh dear. But yeah, that was a cracking little breakfast this morning that I got to look at. Oh, I've got hiccups now. Sorry, I had to mute the mic there. But yeah. No, that wasn't me. That was Darken Room. That was his offerings this morning. He sent me that just to make me jealous because I can't get chipolatas and things like that. Oh, I got you, Tim B. Well, I'm quite happy calling you Timothy. No, it's all good. What's that? Kenny. God, I'm a child. So yeah, so basically, actually, I've got an NDI stream on here. What I might do, I might take you outside and show you my new dishwasher. How about that? But you won't be able to hear me though. Although you might be able to. If I go here, see that's still got the Christmas background on it. Let's see if I can get rid of that. That's still got, right, we'll just delete the Christmas background. And we'll put the what's that one? Okay. Why is that? Let me see if I can. Okay. Let me see if let me do that one. Boof. No. Excuse me while I well, that's the NDI source, so that's okay. So that's that one. That should be here. That should be there. Okay. And then, right, there we go. So, okay. Right, so then if we just make that a little bit big. All right, well, you won't be able to see me in a minute because if I just open my... Oh, I love pigs in blankets. Oh, why is that then? Is there gossip? Do you know some gossip that I don't? Oh, I love van life gossip. It's good. It's better than Towie. Do you know? Well, I'll tell you something funny. I didn't know that Towie stood for The Only Way is Essex. How sad am I? Because I kept hearing people saying, "Oh, he's a Towie star," and I thought, "Who's Towie? What's Towie?" And then I realised Towie is short for The Only Way is Essex. I didn't know that. Anyway, what a sad man. Well, the fact that I don't watch The Only Way is Essex, so I guess. Who's the... Right, I'm going to turn on this NDI cam, if I can. Right, there we go. Oh, we're upside down. Let me just... Right. Let me try and... Right, so this is the old turkey cam from Christmas. Let me just turn it off for a second. And I'm going to try and turn on my auto rotate function because I can then... Right, here we go. So then what I'll do is I'll go out and I'll show you my... Oh, right, Reverend Simon. Okay. Made a quick vid of my lunch to teach Hugo how to do a quick edit. Oh, it was Hugo's, part of Hugo's... Oh, is that the quick video of your lunch? Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean... Why would you watch The Only Way is Essex? Right, we're going to do some dishwasher spying. Right, come with me. This is going to be a live as we go It's going to be a live, yeah. Look at that cup. Right, follow me. There won't be any sound, but talk amongst yourselves. Right, I'm coming back there. Look, there's the studio. Look, you see, this is my studio. What I get to look at you beautiful people on. See, trying to make ourselves look half semi-professional. So yeah, what do you think of that? That, my friends, was my newly purchased dishwasher. So I shall wire that in a couple of. I'll probably wire it in tomorrow, actually. But yeah, I thought it's actually that one is quite a big one. I didn't want to get the mini, you know, that they actually do a lot smaller ones, which are designed to fit right on top of your counter. This one can either go in the counter under the sink or sit on top. So it has, it's quite good. But I haven't tried it, but it looks quite funky spunky because it's got an actual water supply plumbing, whereas the other ones you actually pour the water in the top, it's almost like a small coffee machine. You pour the water in the top and then put the soap in, and then it just heats the water up and does a sprinkle, and then that's it for 20 minutes. Whereas this one, I think, is a bit more oomphy. So we'll try it. We'll try it on Monday, I think, because I've got to order these pipes tomorrow. They're going to take a while. Monday's going to be the trip into town to sort out the computer. Hopefully the weather's not going to be that bad. Actually, it's a lovely day today. I didn't get the bike washed, by the way, like I said I was going to do. Oh, God, Monday's 90% chance of rain. What a bugger. Oh, well, whatever. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is sunshine. Highs of 13, lows of 6. Today is currently 10 degrees at the moment. Highs of 11, lows of 3. There's your weather report. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, I've got my Bitcoin and my and my tools and my I've got me walkie-talkies here as well. Look at that. We're all cooking on gas for when the apocalypse comes. Oh dear. So yeah, got that. But yeah, mainly it's I make my living from doing stuff on computers. If I'm not making music for somebody, I'm designing something for somebody or doing something along the lines of computers. So I had an option of getting a new Mac or going the self-build route, and I went the self-build route and saved myself a hell of a lot of money. So that's what I'm using. And of course, obviously, monitors here are a lot cheaper than they are in the UK. Yeah, well, actually, he's had that diesel heater for about 3 months, I think, because he was given it by a subscriber, if I remember. I'm talking about socks. And first of all, he needed to clear some space in that van to have any hope of being able to install it properly, because he'd need to get some working space sorted out. but yeah, I mean, who knows? He's got an IT background, I think. If I'm not mistaken, he used to do IT stuff. A lot of people. I tell you what is the big thing at the moment: people getting divorced on YouTube. Jesus, there's so many channels that have a lot of channels, a lot of big channels as well. We're talking like 500,000 subscribers and things like that. They've suddenly made videos to say that they're splitting up with their wife and she'll be no longer featured in the video. There's a few truck driver channels that they've split up with their ex or split up with their partners and etc. etc. So yeah, YouTube. I think so. I think that bed needs to come up a little bit. I mean, obviously the whole van needs to be a little bit bigger, if I'm honest. And he's even said it himself. When he looks at other people's vans, even a Ford Transit Connect or something like that is bigger than the one he's got now. But yeah, I mean, obviously that's a financial situation that we don't know about. But ideally the van does need to be a little bit bigger. If not, the bed needs to come up a bit and needs to have a lot more storage underneath. And yeah, it just needs. I mean, it all depends on your abilities and your kind of. Because he has got a lot of stuff, more than he would have the ability to keep it. I mean, the last I saw, he still had a couple of suitcases. So what he's obviously just moved out from somewhere, and then bought a van and said, right, I'm living here now. So. Busker dude. Oh yeah, Cam Cole. You're talking about? Yeah, he's just released a new video, which I thought was quite good. He's not a van lifer really. He's more your busker, typical musician, artisty busker bloke. Lives in a van. He hasn't done a lot of. Yeah, you speak to you soon, man. Drop back in once you've sorted out your business, and we'll be here. Not much else going on tonight. What time is it? It's about 3:30 in the morning here. What time is it in the UK? 7:30. So yeah, put another log on the burner, and open a step 2. Crack a cold one, and sit back and relax. So yeah, Cam Cole, he's got he's basically, I think he runs his YouTube channel mostly based on his music rather than where he lives. It just happens to be living in a van, which is quite, I mean, there's quite a lot of space, but it's very. He reminds me of Stig of the Dump, if I'm honest, but he's very talented. Yeah, but who knows what motivates people these days. Apparently he's got a German producer, so a lot of the sounds he makes is produced by his German producer, so he's got quality releases. I don't know if he makes any money off it or that, but if he's busking in Camden of a weekend, whether he's still doing that or whether he's got other things on, I don't know. I mean, obviously there's no live shows, but I could imagine him doing a set at Glastonbury somewhere in one of the tents. Now, you'd get money for doing that. You'd probably get 5 to 10 grand for a PA to do that. So, probably next time we'll see him, he's going to be in a Winnebago with slides. Jeez Louise. Yeah, so I saw another video with another Simon Bloke in the Woods video with his Land Rover. He's done a good job with his diesel heater on the Land Rover install. He's actually done a good job with that. Actually, it's nice. So yeah, he did a diesel heater review in that one, which is quite toasty. Obviously, with the Land Rover, you've got the go anywhere type of vehicle, haven't you, really? So you kind of live in that. I've seen a couple of guys in, excuse me, a couple of couples. Hang on. Oh dear. I've seen a couple of, to be honest, I don't really have a schedule. I should have done a schedule, really. We'll try and get it a little bit more scheduled and properly, because I do know there's a hell of a lot of live streams on a Saturday night, Friday night. It seems that in about an hour or so, the whole world and his dog streams on YouTube. So I'll try and get in before then, because it's pointless competing, isn't it? I mean, I don't do this for the views, quite clearly. But yeah. So, I saw, what else did I watch? That bloke, there's a couple of e-bikes channels that I like. I'm thinking of making an e-bike, but they're still quite expensive at the moment. But I was thinking of doing an e-bike. I've got lots of plans, but not really any solid concrete ones. My main plan was come back to the UK this year, if possible. But being able to do stuff at the moment, there's not really much going on in the UK at the moment regarding my kind of forte, like events and things like that. There's no events happening. There's no, so it's not really a stuff going on. So therefore, if I come back to the UK, it will just be to see some family. But then after that, family and friends. But after that, you're just pissing money up the wall because there's no work. Oh, you've got problems with the sound. Jesus. That's not very good. How's it now? Seems okay here. I don't know. Could have been me just knocking it. I am dropping a couple of frames here and there, so it could have been that. So my VPN's playing up. I can see it's dropping out, but that usually drops out the video first, not the sound. But I don't know what it was. But anyway, it looks like it's all back now. So hey ho. Yeah. So let me just turn it down just a gnat. How about that? So yeah, what I was doing is what I was thinking of is coming back to the UK and then working out what the options are for getting some income, because at the moment I'm not really paying anything to live here, because obviously I've got some money invested and that pays the rent kind of thing. And the funny thing is the banks here give a lot more favourable interest rates on their savings than the ones in the UK. I mean, for example, a basic fixed rate savings account here would probably yield about 3%, or 3 to 4.5%. Yeah. No, you'll be surprised. The amount, honestly, the more stuff you get, the more gremlins you find. It's a nightmare, especially I'm actually trying to figure out why I'm unable to hear desktop audio. Although I'm able to stream desktop audio, but I'm not able to hear it, which is a real annoyance. But anyway, whatever. So yeah, basically I was trying to figure out, when I come back to the UK, what I could do for some money. Because if I go back to the UK, first of all, the air ticket prices are about £1,500 per head, right? So that's £3,000 for the pair of us return. flying into Heathrow. They do non-stop. Virgin and British Airways do non-stop at the moment, but it's like I said, £3,000 flying into the UK. Then you've got, I'm guessing you'd probably still have the quarantine, 14 days at your own expense. They're now pushing people to quarantine in hotels. They're busing them to hotels, as they should. So that's going to be, I'm guessing that's going to be 300 to £600 for the 14 days. I mean, what's it going to be? £50 a day, £45 a day for quarantine times 14. So then you've got your logistics and it's like, wow, you're looking at 10 grand for a month in the UK. Now, here my rent is about 4 grand per year. So I was talking about in savings accounts, wasn't I? Yeah, I would actually. That's the plan. The plan is to come back and to live, but the point is I need to find something to do, because the UK is a lot more expensive than it is here, because at the moment where we live the rent is quite low, and the fact that I've got some money put in a savings account here, and the bank here pays a lot more interest than the banks in the UK. So, example, I saved up. I put 3,000 in a savings account in Nationwide to go towards my transportation when I came back to the UK, and they only offer 0.5% interest per annum on that amount, which is what, 30 quid? Not even that, 15 quid. I mean, I could do the maths, but I can't be bothered. But it's not, I mean, it's nothing, right? So, like, at the most, you're going to get 15, 30 quid interest on 3 grand. Now, here, it's 3%. Now, that also doesn't sound a lot, but if you're saving 100 grand, then that's 3 grand a year. And if your rent is only 3 grand a year, then you're effectively living for free, because you've got the monies, and of course the money's not, it's not like a high risk account, it's just a normal account. If I want to get the money out, I just need to give them 7 days notice, and they'll let me at the funds. It's kind of similar to the UK, and I'm not allowed to touch it for I think for the 3%, it's 2 years. If you want to invest for 5 years, then it's 4.5%, so it's even more. But I wasn't planning on 5 years. I'm planning at least 2 years still here. Yeah, well, I mean, I was thinking of something along the lines of IT, technical support and equipment maintenance, repairing kind of thing, that kind of thing along those lines. But we'll see what's available. And at the end of the day, it's all down to what the client is willing to pay. Everyone you talk to in the trade, in the sort of self-employed sole trading business, they've all got horror stories about giving a contractor giving a client a quotation for a job that they never get, and the client has no intentions of giving you the job. They just want to know the price so they can use that price to negotiate a better deal with somebody else, kind of thing. It's a typical story you get from electricians and plumbers and all that kind of stuff. It's like, how much does it cost to decorate my kitchen? Oh, 5 grand. Okay, thanks very much. We'll let you know. And then they call somebody else and they say, oh, we'll do it for 4. And then they'll call someone else and say, oh, we'll do it for 3. But, we'll do it for 3, but your washing machine will leak. How about that? But anyway, it's finding the right client, I think. And I was chatting to Darken Room the other day about car mechanics, once you've found a good car mechanic, don't let them go, and go to them all the time, regardless of what they cost. Because if you talk to car mechanics and the person that offers you the discount usually is not the person who's going to do the job. They're just the sales or the marketing or the front desk people. So when you go for a service and they charge you 500 quid, and then you think, oh, that's a bit much, and then you go to another guy and it's like, well, I'll do it for 400, but then this guy says, well, I'll do it for 2.5, but the wheel won't be on properly or the brakes will leak. And it's like, what the worst thing you can do is cheap out on your car mechanic. They mess it up, and then you have to go back to the original guy that you asked the quote for originally that was a little bit more expensive, but now you've got to go back to him to fix, and he's got to fix the other guy's mistake. Chances are they'll probably say, no, sorry, we won't do it, because they don't know what the other car mechanic's done. So that's why I say, if you find a good car mechanic, just always use them. Don't shop around, because find out what the parts cost. Do your own research. Go on eurocarparts.com or whatever it is to find the parts. Don't buy the cheapest part. Try and get OEM parts, because it's not worth the hassle trying to get a cheap Chinese part. I mean, I do like China and what they produce, but some of the stuff is crap. Just don't buy crap. Buy the good stuff. If it's a $30 part, and it's going to be a £500 job on a 30 quid part, then don't spend 20 quid on the part just to save that 20 quid, because it's going to cost you 500 quid in labour. So just make sure you only have to do it once, and then you replace that part, and it will do for the rest of the life of the car then, and that's it. Like, example, oxygen airflow sensors and things like that actually throw up error codes on the management system because the part is faulty. So it throws up an engine light, and you don't know what's wrong with the engine light. So then you've got to go and they've got to diagnose it, and they can't find it because they're not expecting the oxygen sensor to be shoving out wrong numbers, because it's not an OEM part. It's a cheapo part. So all that time that you're trying to diagnose the problem, you're paying for that. The mechanic's charging you, what, 50 quid an hour for their time. So, I mean, yeah, I would say buy once, but with a lot of research. Don't be ripped off. Don't buy the first thing that you see. Do some research. Find out what the parts cost and what the parts use, because you'll find that a lot of the car industry, they use each other's parts, like especially sensors. A lot of car manufacturers don't make their own sensors. They just buy them from a Japanese sensor company or something like Bosch or somebody like that. But yeah, buy the good stuff. Don't buy the crap, because especially on an old car, because your mechanic will thank you. Because I'd rather save. He'd rather give you a discount on his labour than him trying to find a cheap part for you, because you don't want to spend 100 quid on a proper part. You'd want to try and find a 30 quid one, because he knows that chances are, if he fits that part, it's going to come back again and he's going to have to refit it. And to be honest, most mechanics don't like doing the same job twice, because it's boring. But anyway, that's my rant over. Thanks for listening. But yeah, I've always been fascinated to be honest, nowadays, most mechanics have to have £5,000 worth of diagnostic equipment before they can even start, because all the people, you go into the mechanics, the garage with an engine warning light, and unless you've got an OBD reader or something along those lines, you don't even know what the error code is. It's like, it could be anything. So first of all, you have to find the code of what it could be. Then you've got to find out what that code means, and then you've got to find out what it could be. So all that mucking about, they're charging you for that. And if you can do a lot of the work yourself before you take it there, then if they start saying to you, "Oh, it's the cam, it's the rear cam sensor, or it's the big end bearing," or you're like, "No, it isn't. It's the O2 sensor that needs replacing," or it's a problem with the ignition. It's nothing to do with the, whatever. If you have that a little bit of knowledge, then the chances are you won't get ripped off, and the chances are that the mechanic, you'll have a good relationship with your mechanic because you'll understand what they have to go through to get the job done. And again, they just charge you the labour. They don't care about how much the parts cost. For them, it's all, I mean, I'm not sure if they make money on the parts. Oil, is that an oily Alsatian? Did you mean? Passenger seat off a scrapyard this week for 20 quid. Would have been 100 on eBay. Yeah, well, again, those kind of things, your scrapyards are gold mines because what also I've been looking at is, oh yeah, the lamb's gone long ago. Sorry, I'm going to order another one actually because it's going to be Chinese New Year soon. Chinese New Year's on February the 11th. So I'll probably order one on Monday because I need to get it done before Chinese New Year. Otherwise, I'll never get one because everything shuts down. So you reminded me, I might order one now. Another leg of lamb. But yeah, talking about the seats, you can buy really good quality seat covers now, like form-fitted seat covers, and you can actually put heated pads in them. So if you haven't got heated seats, if you've got an old van with no heated seats in, you can actually buy heating pads and seat covers, and you can actually re-upholster the seat to make it almost look like factory, with heated elements inside. And you can, as I say, it's just a switch on the dash. You just wire it into a 12-volt ignition, and you've got yourself heated seats, which is a good little retrofit. Because I've always said that when I get a car, I want it to have a heated steering wheel, because my mum's old Corsa had a heated steering wheel. And it's once you've had a heated steering wheel on a cold day in a car, you don't want to go back to having a non-heated steering wheel. So yeah, we won't be doing much during Chinese New Year. We'll probably go to the mother-in-laws, the in-laws, for a meal. That's about it. I mean, they've got 8 days holiday. Everyone's encouraged not to travel this year, so a lot of the people won't be going home this year because they've basically said that if you want to travel within China, you need a negative COVID test to get into the city that you're going to. So in other words, if you wanted to drive into Manchester from where you are, you'd need to get a negative COVID test 7 days before you, no more than 7 days before you departed, and then you'd have to present that test at the gate of Manchester. So they'll basically put a block. They'll put a block on the road, and everyone going into Manchester would have to have a negative test. So that's one way to curb the spread, I guess. But again, that works here. It wouldn't work anywhere else because it's just the way the country's made. But yeah, that kind of situation would work for China, but not for anybody else. It'll be a nightmare if they tried to do that in the UK. But yeah, no, heated steering wheel, man. But the problem with heated steering wheels is, unless you spend quite a lot of money and tick all the boxes for the spec of the car, chances are you're not going to get a heated steering wheel. Now, my mum's Corsa happened to be the top spec Corsa. I mean, It's not a very good car, but it's a top spec model that you could buy at the time. So it had heated seats, heated steering wheel, air conditioning, digital radio. It didn't have electric seats. It just had heated seats, electric windows, all that stuff. But it was still a Corsa, obviously. But it had a heated steering wheel, and I tell you, cold frosty mornings with that heated seat on and the heated steering wheel is just brilliant. Really, really good. So I thought, I've got to get myself a car with a heated steering wheel. So every car I'm looking at now has to have a heated steering wheel, and it's quite well. That's the thing. The lockdown only works if people take it seriously. But on the other hand, if people don't take it seriously, then it only works if the rules are enforced. And I think the I don't know how to explain it. The general thinking is that in a country like this, if mummy says do something, you kind of just do it because you don't want the ball ache of the consequences if you don't do it, kind of thing. Whereas in the UK, everybody knows what the consequences will be, and they do a damage control. They say, well, maybe the cops will fine me 50 quid if they catch me, but they're not going to catch me, so sod it, I'll do it. That's what they weigh it up as far as, getting away with it. They're actually basically caring about the community and being part of a community that abides the rules doesn't really come into it. It's more about can I get away with it? So I'll do it, kind of thing, which is fair enough. If you're an independently if you're taught to be an independent thinker in a society that's full of independent thinkers, then that's what happens. Whereas if you're taught to do what mummy tells you to do, then you grow up basically just getting told what to do. So, but there's kind of a little bit of excuse me. There's a little bit of a zen feeling to know that you don't need to care about anything because you can't control it, so you don't worry about it, so therefore you don't care about it. And there's kind of a relief in that situation, because regardless of what happens, you don't have any control over the government, so therefore you don't worry about it because you just presume the government's going to handle everything. Now, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But when they don't, there's an uproar, because people tend to think that, or their attitude is, we entrust you to handle things how they should be handled, and yet you didn't sort it out, so therefore why should we listen to you in the future? So there's always a worry of that. So normally things get handled quite sharply and firmly and efficiently, because they don't want to they don't want people to have the opportunity to go against the ruling governance. So they tend to do, if I'm honest, they tend to do a pretty good job. And it's kind of a relaxed atmosphere to know that if you can't control it, what's the point worrying about it, right? So freedom of the internet, or for example, if I want to live stream on Chinese platform, I have to register my ID card, I have to give them my telephone number, I have to tell them this is my channel, I'm going to be producing this. And if you happen to produce something that goes against the rules, then you can get a knock on the door. But people just understand that, and they just get on with it, because at the end of the day, most human beings just want to go with the flow and just get their life, just have a happy life, and and just go for it, and just they don't really worry about, oh, I can't do this because I mean, it's not. We're not living in Moscow in the 50s. It's yeah. Anyway, right. You take care, mate. I'm going to call it a day in about 20 minutes. I'll probably wait for Darken Room to come back on. Just say good night to him before I turn in. But thanks for joining us as always. And I'll do a midweek one. I'm trying to think of either Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know. If you have any preferences, I don't mind. But yeah, I was going to do a midweek one. The main issue is obviously the time. It's 4 o'clock in the morning here. So if I was to do a midweek one, then I'll have to whatever. We'll sort it out. But it's either going to be a Thursday or Friday. All right. So thanks for joining, and I shall talk to you very, very soon with an update on the computer and the washing machine. The dishwasher, sorry. All right, fellas. I'll speak to you later. It was lovely. Remember, you are important, you are valued, and look after yourselves. Bye.